Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Hope everybody had a good week. So if you want to check out Sliders, this series, it's available to stream on the Peacock channel and also available to purchase on Amazon and on Apple. You can purchase the whole series on there. All right, so let's get started with this week's episode.
What if you could revisit brand new worlds right here from your headphones, where anything is possible? Same shows, different perspectives. We've found the gateway.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sliding Through Dimensions. This week we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 10, Greatfellas. So Judy's a little sick, so she's going to try to get through the episode. So overall, what did you guys think of this episode?
That was pretty good. I like the aesthetic of it, actually. Oh, that's pretty cool.
The what?
The aesthetic?
Oh, the aesthetic. Okay.
She's got
I lost my voice, so.
Yeah, we're going to have to carry the show.
I liked it. I would like a kind of a Rembrandt forward episode.
Yeah.
Which I thought was good.
It's always good when you can get like a nice Rembrandt episode.
Yeah.
It was the last one, the one where he's King of Music.
Yeah, was it The King is Back?
Yeah, King is Back.
And then I feel like there was another one where it was Rembrandt. That one where he's like a kept man, remember? They kind of focused on him a lot on that one.
A little bit, yeah. The weaker sex.
Yeah, the weaker sex. There we go. Yes,
yeah.
That one.
This, you got to see him play kind of two different roles.
Yeah.
And The King is Back. It was him and his brother. So you get to see him. Like,
I know. I thought they were going to
dual.
Use his brother for this one, but no, it was just him playing both parts. You get to
see another Rembrandt double.
Yeah,
that's right. He has a brother. That's right.
Yeah. That's how they did the first one.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. That's true.
So on this episode, Greatfellas, original air date was it May 31st, 1996. This is on a world where Prohibition was never repealed. Rembrandt's double starts with the Sliders land in the middle of a wedding where the groom and the bride are from mob organizations.
A little bit. This episode's a little bit of Godfather, a little bit of Goodfellas, a little bit of
really more Goodfellas than Casino.
Yeah, right.
A little Casino because they had to deal with the casinos, but also a little bit of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah.
So this one had a little special guest, Mel Tormé.
Tracy Tormé's father.
You know Mel Tormé.
Is it Tracy Tormé?
It's Tracy Tormé's father.
Oh dang, that's
the Velvet Fog.
Yeah, the Velvet Fog. Yeah.
I know. He's in
Seinfeld.
Wondering. Oh, was he in Seinfeld?
He plays himself in that too.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Oh yeah. When I saw the name Mel Tormé, that's like my first.
Same thing in Seinfeld. He does a little performance in that too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I when I heard it, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's Tracy Tormé's like dad or something like that, and I guess it is.
It's his father.
Yeah, so I looked him up, and then I guess he's a composer, arranger, drummer, actor. He composed music for the Christmas song "Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire." He co-wrote it with Bob Wells, and I guess he was. And then he was also in, like when he started in movies, his movie debut was in a Frank Sinatra film called Higher and Higher.
Oh, yeah.
In 1947. So I was like, oh, interesting. But yeah, you got to see him do a little performance in this.
He's good in this. He's good.
He was good.
Yeah, he's funny in this. He's funny in Seinfeld too. His character, he is himself.
I would have thought he was an actor.
Yeah, it's like he looks like he'd been acting.
Been a singer.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one.
But I did like the way that they used him. I was like, this has to be somebody.
Yeah.
So I looked him up. Yeah.
Well, because you see him like special guests. Like he had like his own and he wasn't just part of the regular guest list of on the opening credits. It said special guest.
Same thing on the DVD. It goes like on the description. I think below it says special guest Mel Tormé.
Oh, that's cool. So I wonder if Tracy Tormé's like, Dad, you want to be in an episode?
Dad, I need you, Papa.
Dad, I need you. Bring your star power.
Who's Tracy Tormé?
The creator.
Oh, really? Oh,
he's one of the creators. Yeah. So this one opens up. It was funny. So they're like at the outside of a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Fast food
It's a
joint.
very different scene, like location we've seen them in before.
It's
actually pretty cool.
In total, it was really different, I feel, than the other episodes.
And then you get Wade's journal.
Okay, back to journaling.
Wade's journal.
She did better this time, I felt.
She's
narrating.
Writing
She's writing. Yeah. Pretty good.
And
Pretty good start.
so it seems like they're on a world where it's like they said, like 85% is
84%.
84%.
But he makes the joke.
Yeah.
I've gone to law school.
Yeah, so they're all
Which
like,
seems like that would be an awful idea because it's like an oversaturated market then at that point now.
Yeah.
yeah,
But the idea is like everybody sues everybody for everything.
yeah, and there's like just while they were trying to get food. Well,
it's like a really complicated.
Yeah, the professor was up there trying to get food, and then he comes back, and he's all like, it's impossible to order food. It's like, we'll just wait till the next world. And then Rembrandt's like, nah, man, I want some food now. So he's like, all right.
He's worried that the next world
will be vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wants real meat.
So he goes up to the window and tries to order. And then he tries to order like a couple Whamburgers and some fries and a drink.
No, he orders.
No, he wants fries and a drink.
He orders the drink, and you need like all this paperwork.
Yeah, I think
essentially saying that you're healthy enough.
Yeah, so the guys are like, as I told your friend there, I need your salmonella.
Oh yeah.
What's it?
Salmonella license or something.
And then if you wanted a soda, like your carbonation
release form.
Well,
he's all like, and Rembrandt's like, I'm supposed to have all of that on me? He's like, yeah, you do if you want service. He's like, well, I just want the fries then. He's like, well, I'm gonna need a cholesterol like
200,
something like that from his
a
doctor.
Picture ID and a note from your doctor that says your cholesterol is under 200.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
because I guess they just don't want to be sued for anything.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is a bit of I can't remember. Do you remember when McDonald got sued because that woman the coffee fell on the woman's
yeah.
That just happened recently too.
Again.
Yeah, not too I think like a year ago or something like that. Some guy, same thing, like drive through, put the coffee in between his legs and it was hot and then it burned him. I'm like, why is anybody putting hot coffee between their legs?
Well, I read an article that was talking about the woman, the first woman, I guess, who did it. I think the coffee was like heated like
way
almost 20 degrees hotter than it should have been. So it was kind of ridiculously hot anyway.
Yeah.
But I wondered if it was kind of a joke on that.
Maybe.
Seinfeld does a similar joke.
Oh, really?
Kramer goes to court because he spills coffee on him against the coffee business. And then he ends up just like selling for like a year for free coffee forever.
He sells for free,
he sells
for free
coffee.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not. I don't think it's. I mean, obviously, it's kind of an extreme, but it is kind of like. I know people talk about how in the U.S. like people will sue for everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe it's just a play on that in general.
Yeah. So then Rembrandt kind of gives up. And he walks back to the table, and then they're like, all right, well, I guess it's close for them to slide. So they get up from the table and they start walking, and Rembrandt accidentally bumps into this old lady, like just a slight bump, but he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then she kind of like,
she looks annoyed.
Yeah,
like,
she
you
looks,
can tell. Yeah.
And then she kind of like,
you're ready to
hear it.
Yeah, you're ready to hear it.
Yeah.
She has whiplash.
And then, so then they're walking and they get into the alley, and then this guy comes running over. He's like, oh, I just saw what happened. He's like, I think you're gonna need my help. So he gives him his business card. He's like, what are you talking about?
Well, no, he was like, she already filed a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Oh, did she already file?
Yeah.
Oh my god. She must have that on speed dial.
That's what she filed a collision suit.
Yeah, and then he was saying, oh, you're lucky you didn't get slapped with sexual harassment. And then he was all like, what are you talking about? Like barely hit her. And then he's like, oh, you shouldn't have admitted guilt. All I said was, I'm sorry. He's like, yeah.
That is admitting guilt. That was when you apologize.
Oh, really? So never apologizing?
Well, if you're in like a car accident, they tell you don't apologize, don't assume guilt to it.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he's all like, it's all right. We're about to slide. He's like, no, you can't let it slide. That's like what, double the fine or something like that?
Oh, quadruple.
Quadruple. Think, yeah. He's and then they open up the portal, and then he's kind of like,
they were very cocky with this.
Yeah.
Like I think, he did it like who was it, Quinn?
Yeah,
like
he just does it like right in front of him.
His face and like sets it off, and then they like somersault into it.
Well, Rembrandt and Wade just kind of jump in like whatever's, and then it was the professor.
Why does the professor somersault? Like he tumbles into it,
and then so
he does like
Quinn.
A backflip into it.
Yeah, well, front flip, no, not back.
Oh, he does it.
Yeah,
he does like a casually going into him.
No,
he does like a flip
into it.
And then so does Quinn as well. But then I thought it was funny because the Rembrandt's like, well, since you seem so invested in it, he's like, go ahead and take the case and bill me in the next world.
They got real cocky with this one.
Yeah.
We've gone more into like, they seem to be going more into depth of the world that they are traveling. Like before, the world before they travel to the world that is going to be amazing. They really like set it in. Yeah.
So they kind of touch on like what's going on like
before they
leave.
That's going on a lot more
true.
recently.
So then again, it cuts to the opening credits, and then it opens up to this big old like mansion, and it looks like there's like a wedding going on, and you see Mel Tormé. He walks in, he's talking to
the boss.
I guess
the bride.
The father of the bride, who is obviously one of the mob bosses.
He does that like he does that like call to the Godfather where he's like, thanks for coming on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah. So then he's like, oh, you're gonna perform, aren't you? He's like, oh, my throat's filling. He's like, oh, you're not gonna perform on my daughter's wedding?
He gets really loud.
He does.
Yeah. Then he's like, well, no, I will. It's not gonna maybe sound as good.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
And then he goes, I like it rough.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Oh,
I was like, why did he say that?
He's like, he just wants you to know. He likes
I guess.
He's gonna bang Mel Tormé after that.
So
he's trying to see what his possibilities would
sorry.
Yeah, so the wedding ceremony starts. You see the bride getting walked down by his dad, and she obviously she does not want to do this. Mm-hmm. But it looks like it's like a arranged marriage.
Yeah, it's a mob.
Yeah,
so
bring two families together.
Yeah,
and then of course the portal opens up right over the pool, and then that one dude's like, what the hell? And he pulls out his gun.
Oh, yeah. I think he calls the portal a bitch or something.
Does he say
Doesn't
that?
he? Like,
oh, no, he doesn't. He say, like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. And he takes his gun out like he's going to shoot it.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious.
I don't know if that would be my reaction.
To a giant portal.
You're
but he's like a hothead mobster, though.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Like, that'd be Joe Pesci's.
Joe Pesci's
character. That would be his character in Casino.
That motherfucker.
Yeah. That's what he would have
done. So you get some cool stunt work right here.
Oh yeah, I mean, Rembrandt goes fucking flying, and I don't understand why he goes flying. Because it's not even like he.
If anybody, it should have been
the professor.
Yeah.
Well, I think Wade fell into the pool. I think a lot of them fell into the pool, except for Rembrandt.
Rembrandt's the only one who.
No, I don't. The professor didn't fall in the pool.
Oh, he didn't.
I don't know where he ends up.
I don't know how Rembrandt takes his fall perfectly fine, by the way, because he
just
gets crazy fucking high. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then that one shot, you can tell it's a stunt man.
Is it?
Yeah, you can see him when he's like
we're stunned by like the air time he's gotten.
I mean, it looks close to what to what Rembrandt. It's a good stunt double, but you can tell it's a stunt double, and he like lands on that little arch, like that ivy arch.
Yeah,
and he's like all wrapped up in it, and then he comes out.
Oh yeah,
and then
everyone's pointing guns.
Yeah, so everybody's all. He thinks that everybody's like, they must think that it's the crime man.
Which is a crazy fucking narcissistic mindset, right, by the way.
For him to think that he is, because he's been in worlds where he's not famous.
Yeah. That's just like his automatic assumption.
But he always is like, I'm super famous in this world.
Yeah, and then so he's like, oh, sorry everybody. He shakes the father of the bride's hand, and then he sees Mel Tormé. He's like, Mel Tormé. He's like, what are you doing here? He's all like, it's been a while since we worked together. And then he's all like, what are you talking about? We've never worked together.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell, right, by the way that they're talking about Rembrandt of that world, that he
they call him
because he's
the boss says Brown, and then he goes the
Incorruptibles.
Oh,
so like a take on like the Untouchables.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
So in my head, I was like, so he's either like a rival person.
I thought originally he was a rival, like mob boss,
right?
That's what I originally thought.
Yeah, but no, you find out he's like the head of this
And then
like
the way
FBI
that Mel,
anti-mob organization.
yeah, but the way that Mel Tormé reacts to him, him,
he's so like,
he's really scared. Yeah,
don't talk to me. And then the Rembrandt's like, oh yeah, you're right, not on this world. So then they all just kind of like.
They're just throwing that.
I know. I'm shocked that he is not gunned down. It's crazy right now.
Yeah, they just let him.
He just walks away.
They all walk out.
Yeah,
we see it's because they know who he is.
Yeah, we see Wet Dog, fucking Quinn and Wade coming up.
Oh, I know.
Just they're like
drenched. They were the only. Yeah, they were. I wonder if they're like, well, we'll go in the pool.
I know. What do you think? Do you think they were in the pool? Or do you think they just wet them?
No, they went. Oh, well, I don't know. I guess you see stunt doubles landing in the pool.
Yeah, but well, they would have had to. I mean, might as well just
jump them in there. Yeah.
I don't know. How does Hollywood work?
I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe they have a set. They probably have a set of wet clothes though. What specifically that they wear? Like two different sets.
Oh yeah, they probably do.
Yeah.
So then it's like this. It cuts to like this night opening shot. Like San Francisco looks all lit up, kind of like Vegas style.
Yeah.
Like
they have those like fake neon lights.
Yeah.
Like that I'm sure they did.
You can see like the Transamerica building and lights and stuff, and then all the other buildings.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was a decent kind of effect.
So they're walking down the street. You can kind of tell it's like a Vegas style type of San Francisco, and there's a poster for Ronald Reagan for governor. It's all like, yeah, you liked him as president. You trust him.
You'll trust
him as governor, or something like that. Yeah, so he's running for Reagan's running for governor in this world.
Well, they ask why isn't he running for president?
I think he was already president.
Was that?
Well,
maybe he did 2 terms already.
He already done 2 terms. Okay,
yeah, maybe.
I thought it was like, oh, it's supposed to be a thing about
I don't know
how
if
the mob kills presidents, like the JFK thing.
Oh, I don't know.
That was my thought. Is that no one wants to be president because it's not even worth it.
Maybe.
Well, he was because it says you liked him as a president.
So he was president. I don't know if he did 2 terms on this world. I don't even know if he did 2 terms in our actual.
No, I think he just did a term.
Did he just do 1? I don't know.
5 man, this is a lot.
So then they're obviously they're heading to the Dominion Hotel. They walk in. There's a bunch of slot machines all over the place, and then you see Calhoun again. Will Sasso's back again.
Yeah.
Working
the Dominion, and then he notices
no glasses, Calhoun specifically, because I feel like sometimes he has specs on, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, he did 2 terms.
Really?
He was 81 to 89.
So
okay.
So I'd like people to know I was only 1 when he stopped being president. So you can't fault Femur for not knowing that.
Yeah. So Calhoun like recognizes Rembrandt. He's like, Mr. Brown, what are you doing here? And then,
everybody's asking him for his like autograph.
Yeah. So I think
so you do start to think like,
okay,
yeah. It's weird because then you want the signature of the head of an FBI group specifically. Yeah.
So he hooks him up with the room and tells him, he's gonna not letting anybody know that he's there.
Oh yeah, because
then immediately rats him out again in this world.
Well, I don't know. Did he rat him out?
No, he doesn't.
Because I think
no.
I think he's kind of connected to the Federal Bureau, right?
Yeah, I think so. He called Mel because that's.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because Quinn calls him down later, and he's like,
yeah. So they head up to their rooms and stuff like that, and then he makes the phone call to
immediately, right as they walk away,
and tells them that Rembrandt's there, and stuff like that, and then it cuts back to the family. They're having this big old discussion in the office, trying to figure out why Rembrandt was there
when he's supposed to be out of town.
Yeah, because supposedly they had gotten intel that he was supposed to be in Canada or something like that.
Yes, he's meeting with the Mounties.
With the Mounties, yeah.
They thought that there was like a mole in their works.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I don't know if
the second family.
Did they mention anything about Mel Tormé? Like, did they thought like
Mel
he was
sings.
in did he say something like
that? I don't. They don't specifically bring up Mel.
Yeah.
But there is just about the idea that that one of the families does have a mole, and it's specifically the guy with the daughter.
They go like, there's only one outside person that comes to the party, and he happens to know. He happens to know Rembrandt.
Yeah.
So they do kind of. The other family is kind of like putting this on the first family.
Greensdale? Is that one of the families?
That's the main family.
Okay, that's the one because Mel Tormé hangs out with the Greensdales.
So they're thinking that it's the Greensdale that have a mole.
Horrible. I'll say last name.
So So then you can kind of tell like the son kind of gets an idea to like go and see if he can bribe.
Oh
Rembrandt.
yeah, Rembrandt.
Yeah. And then it cuts back to them in the to Quinn and them in the hotel room, and
Quinn walks out.
Quinn goes to get a newspaper.
No, not yet. Yeah, he does decide to go to newspaper. Before that, they open up the mini fridge and Rembrandt's like, oh, there's no alcohol in here. There's just Coke and water and I think peanuts and stuff like that. And then Wade's reading like the TV guide. She's like, oh, we got Goodfellas, Casino,
Return of the Goodfellas, which I'm like, how does that work? How did the first one end?
Joe Pesci came back from the dead.
Yeah, Joe Pesci came back from the dead.
That's right.
Robert De Niro's all right.
Yeah.
He didn't go to jail.
Yeah, so that's when Quinn's all like, all right, let me go get a newspaper to see if we can find out a little bit more about this world. So he goes out and Calhoun's out there waiting for him. He's like, oh, somebody wants to talk to you. And then Quinn kind of has this look on his face, like he's like, who is it? Like he's
all surprised.
I know, I'm shocked. Yeah, that's right, because he goes out that door.
He goes out the door, and then somebody grabs him, and it's Mel Tormé. He's like, "Hey, man,
you're gonna blow my fucking cover."
Like, you guys roll up in there,
and
so I can like blow my cover. And it's like,
I get me killed.
And I guess it turns out he is working with Rembrandt. He's like an informant,
part of the FBI.
Yeah. So he tells him, "Tell Rembrandt not to make a move until wait for my signal." And that I guess
do we ever find out what his signal is?
No,
right? No. Like there's nothing ever.
I don't know. He kept on saying that.
Well, yeah, but what it would have been. Like that was my thought. Yeah. I assumed it would have been a song.
He's all your lady. So he tells him, all right. It's like, well, tell him, just to like lay low and then wait for my signal. And he tells Quinn that he has a performance that he has to do at this hotel. I forget the name of the hotel, he says, but that he's got 2 performances. I don't know why he mentions that, but I guess it does come in handy because Quinn ends up
maybe just so he knows that, so that Quinn knows where to reach him.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
so,
that's it. Yeah.
So then Mel heads down the stairwell, and then Quinn's about to head back, and he sees the hothead.
Yeah.
I guess he's the son, right? I guess he's the son of the
probably.
Yeah. So he sees him walking out of their hotel room and kind of like looking kind of like shady, and then he just takes off, and then Quinn's all like, what the hell?
I originally thought he had like beat up everyone in that room. My assumption, or like, yeah, there had been some sort of beatdown going on. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, fucking Quinn dodged a bullet right here, man.
Quinn goes in there, Wade's all beat up.
He fucking they took Rembrandt. Yeah, like they would have kidnapped Rembrandt.
I know. So he goes back in there, and then
it's worse.
Quinn was like, what was that about? He's like, oh, the guy just came to the door and gave us $100,000 in cash.
Immediately took a bribe. How do you not think to yourself, oh, that's a bribe?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Or just to think like that's weird that he's just handing me $100,000. I know he gave him the excuse of
for attending their wedding or something like
that.
But
it's like, why would they do that?
Yeah, like, come on.
If you've already attended and left, why would they have paid you if you were a celebrity?
Rembrandt and Wade seem kind of like.
Why wouldn't have Wade? Rembrandt makes sense, but Wade doesn't make. I feel like Wade would have understood. Oh, that's a fucking.
Like that's weird.
That's odd.
Like, that's a weird thing.
I don't know. She seemed excited about the money.
I guess $100,000.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's true.
They were probably all like, "We're set for the next few slides. We're good on money." So then that's
isn't necessarily true.
Because you have to carry all that fucking cash.
Like we've seen that money can be different
too. That too. Yeah.
So he tells him that he just talked to Tormé, and that he found out that he's an informant and he's working with Rembrandt, or the Rembrandt of that world
is part of the FBI.
Is part of the FBI. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that what you just did, he's like, you just took a bribe, and so. And then, well, the professor, you know what? When they were counting the money at first,
I didn't take a bribe. I took a payment. I double took a bribe.
See, when Quinn first walks in, you see the professor sitting there, and he kind of seemed pleased about the money too. But then after, because he was just sitting there, he's all like, "Yes, money." And then after, when he realizes that the bribe thing's whole situation, he's all like, "I don't care what you do with it. I don't care if you burn it,
or no, if you give it to the poor."
Yeah.
Well, the professor's trying to say, like, we just
got to stay low because they had 27 hours until the slide.
Well, Rembrandt says that maybe they should just return the money back to the family because the whole idea is if he takes it, it looks bad for the FBI.
Yeah. It looks like they are corruptible.
Yeah, but then Quinn goes, well, that's like a slap to the face of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he collects the money from them, and he's all like, I'm gonna go.
I think the professor said that. No.
What?
No, Quinn says
no, Quinn says it.
He goes,
yeah. So then Quinn collects the money. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go meet up with Tormé and see if he can put us in contact with the Rembrandt of that
all
world.
His cash with me.
Yeah, and he takes the cash with him.
Don't even worry, guys. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
It's $100,000. We're fine.
We're in the equivalent of Vegas in our
I'm
world.
gonna put it in this pocket right here.
So he gets the money, and then Rembrandt's like, "Well, maybe I'll come with you." He's like, "No, you're kind of like high priority." He's like, "You need to stay here," and he tells Wade to stay there too. So he goes off by himself, and he heads to the hotel where Tormé's performing.
In his front pocket.
He puts it like in his inside pocket.
See, that's not a bad spot. I feel
that's
exactly good.
That's exactly.
But it's the most okay. Well, I guess
should have put it in his shoe.
It should have.
Oh yeah, a big ass stack in his shoe.
Okay, but like you should
like,
hypothetically like really notice if someone puts their fucking hand inside that pocket.
He's like, I got $50,000 lifts in my
people,
shoes.
People will take like your watch though. Like some people.
I don't know. My assumption is I just be so concentrate. Like notice someone slip their hand into my own jacket.
That's how good they are.
A good pickpocket.
A good pickpocket.
Yeah. So he heads over to the hotel and he asks one of the casino guys, like, "Oh, do you know when Mel Tormé's performance ends?" He's like, like around 11:30, something like that. So he's like, "Oh, can I get you anything?" He's like, "Yeah, can I get a beer?" He's like, "What's this look like? What do you think this looks like? A speakeasy?" So then you kind of get the hint that there's still prohibition going on and there's no alcohol anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So then I think he.
Well, that's why all the mob families are so like top dogs now. It's because of the speakeasy business still going on. Yeah, that is something they find out.
So then he asks him. Oh no! You see, like this girl. She clocked him when he walked in.
Immediately clocks this fool.
And then
she's got her mark.
She's like, that fool's got.
But like, how do you know though? Like, how do you know?
Because he looks like a chump.
Oh,
he does have a baby face. Like, yeah, he doesn't really.
He looks innocent too.
Mel Tormé says he has an honest face.
Yeah. So she like knows.
So then that girl that clocked him kind of gets into a confrontation with some other dude who's obviously in on it as well. So he starts like harassing her, and Quinn sees that. He's like, "Hey, leave her alone." He goes over there.
Oh, well, he throws her.
Oh yeah,
and of course, and Quinn being the good guy he is, can't stand by and see violence.
So he goes over there to like break it up. And he's all like, "Hey, leave her alone." He's all like, "Oh," and then the guy attacks him, and then actually Quinn kicks his ass pretty good.
Quinn pulls some moves on him.
He's like like punches him in the ribs and then like throws him.
He twirls him a bit and then punches him in the kidney.
And then like throws him to like one of the tables. And then the bartender guy gets so mad. He's like, "That's enough!" And he pulls out a bat and he's all like, "Get everybody out of here!" So then he takes the girl and she's like, "All right." He's like, "We should get out of here." So they go outside. And then she's like, "Oh, thank you for stepping in." And then I think when she kisses him is when she grabs the money.
But
that's a distraction. It's the skin contact that then counteracts the other contact.
Exactly. But this fool automatically just
gets all giddy. Yeah, right.
And then you can see he has his face when she gets into the taxi. And he does have this kind of like love struck face, like he's smiling. And
he's like, "I still got it."
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "She took your money, fool. You're dumb."
When I first saw that chick, I was all like, "Is this another version of that chick he had that baby with?"
I thought that
she kind of looked.
They're not gonna bring that storyline back, bro. That was a wonder, bro.
Just like the version.
She's all, "I've been wanting to have a baby."
Oh no, not again.
Because I didn't look it up though, but I feel like she kind of looks like her.
She did look like her.
I'll go to this episode and look it up while we keep on talking. So then she gets in the cab and she drives off, and he's kind of like, "Bye." He sees her off, and then
realizes
hearts in his eyes.
His heart sinks immediately from there.
And then he realizes
the money's
gone. The money's gone, and he realized that he got. They
got great reaction.
She like took the money. Mm-hmm. So then
He goes
like, baby, don't be kissing random women.
No, before he goes to see Mel, it cuts to like this opening campaign commercial. It's for this guy running for governor, and Rembrandt, he's still dressed up all goofy. He's got like this little hat on sideways with glasses.
Oh,
and
I liked his little outfit.
Yeah, his incognito outfit.
Is this at the point where
I think they're at the bar?
Wade also has like a dress, like a
suit jacket.
Like a suit jacket. She has a suit jacket.
I don't know. I think she does too. Yeah, I think she does.
Like, what a weird outfit for her. And this is also
like she's got to look like she's in with the FBI. Right?
And this is what I also realized, that like everyone's rain jackets. I've never realized that rain jackets, the back of them, the collar, the back of it is like loose. Like it kind of looks like
the flaps.
Yeah, it's got that like flap on the back of it.
You remember how some rain jackets have like, I think there's vents underneath.
Oh,
what's the purpose of those?
Jacket.
I think that's so that you don't get necessarily hot in them.
Oh, okay.
So it has kind of like underneath. There's like vents on the back of your shoulder, and then there's like the fabric over it.
Oh, okay.
That's not necessarily connected. It's just it's not connected with the backpack. Mm-hmm. I think I might be wrong.
There's a lot of those jackets.
Yeah. So at this point is where the professor kind of starts explaining, that the prohibition was still ongoing, that it never got ended, and that the mob superpowers there, so they kind of figure out that what the wedding was.
State is basically sanctioned by one family. Is that the idea, right? Or is it just Northern California?
I think they go. What did they say? I forget.
No, I think they said California and Nevada. I think it's like one whole.
Yeah, two different states, one family per state.
Okay.
And those are two families that are trying to come together and trying to secede.
Yeah.
So I guess they can kind of make up their own rules. Mm-hmm. And then it cuts back to Mel Tormé's, and then you get his performance.
You get like a good, like solid, like 2 minutes, like a minute or two of him singing.
Yeah. You get like a good little part of a song. You get some of his like yodeling, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Oh, the doodly.
Yeah, towards the end. Mm-hmm. And that was funny because he was singing about liquor, Jack Daniels, and so then Quinn's waiting right there.
Quinn's enjoying the show too.
He's just kind of like right there.
Oh yeah, he's on the
waiting stateside, backstage, and then he waits for Mel to come out, and then it cuts to them in his dressing room after the show, and then it just kind of cuts into like the tail end of him telling a story, and then he's all like, he tells Mel, he's all like,
I lost the money.
He
gotta get this money back. You don't understand.
And then he's like, and then I lost the money, and then he's all like, I get pretty much he told them the whole story, where they're from.
He's like,
everything.
You got an honest face, kid.
Yeah, and he tells him, he's like, I can never make up a crazy story like that. And then he's like, all right, well, let me see. He kind of like
he says, I'll see what I can do. I can call his buddies from the government, I guess.
Yeah,
or the FBI.
So I guess he's in with So then he asks Quinn to walk him to his car. So then he's walking him to his car. He's like, all right, well, just lie low. And remember to tell Rembrandt to wait for my signal. And then Quinn's like, Mel, what a guy. And then he's walking away, and boom, the whole fucking car just explodes.
Does he say what a guy?
Yeah, he says that he's walking away.
You know what? You know he's gonna blow up when he goes when he says the thing about the money, and so Mel Tormé goes, hey, don't worry, kid. I'm gonna get this cash back for you. Like the way there's something about that scene where you're like, oh, he's gonna blow up right now.
He's gonna die soon. Like, something about a bang or something like that.
I know. So, it's just you can really tell before it even happens.
Yeah. So then he's walking, and then the whole car just explodes, and then Quinn turns around. He's like, Mel, no.
You know what my question became after this is like, did he have the car from Casino? Like that same type of car?
Oh, like the caddy?
Because his model had that thing where it like saved him because of it.
Oh no, I think this was intentionally set up.
Probably by the FBI.
Yeah, maybe to like kind of like make it seem like he's dead, just to kind of get him out.
In Casino, I thought
he had lit because there was a thing with his car
he did that.
No.
That was just the car model itself. The bomb.
I thought he had put in that like special plate.
No, that's standard. That was like to that car
manufacturer thing that saved him.
A manufacturer error. I feel like
he said there's like this like weird thing between the firewall and there's like a piece of metal or something like that. That when he started up, like it didn't like initially just explode or something like that. It just like.
The car started slowly getting on fire.
Yeah, and he was able to get out in time before it exploded.
I mean, do we see him go? I guess, do you see Mel Tormé get in the car?
Yeah, you do, but like Quinn has his back
turned and the camera goes away.
Yeah, so you don't know if he's
fucking running away. He crouched down behind the car,
behind a dumpster or something. So it it seems Mel Tormé is dead, and then it cuts to a train station, and the Rembrandt of that world just got back from Canada, and then there's somebody there to meet him from the FBI, from the agency, to tell him about
how
somebody blew Mel Tormé's cover, and he's like, well, who was it? People were saying it was you. You're the one who fingered him.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
The term.
Phrasing. And that's what the hell did they say? That he was the one who fingered him, and that they had to call off the wedding. It's like, oh, so the wedding hasn't happened yet. So like, no, they had to reschedule it or something. Yeah. So
he immediately heads back.
Yes. So he heads back to their offices, and then it cuts to Quinn, and he's on the phone with I believe
the bride comes in.
Huh?
The bride.
No, she hasn't walked in yet. She does walk in a little bit later, but no, he's on the phone telling he was just on the phone with Wade telling him that Mel Tormé's dead. That
fucking devastating news here.
And it's funny because he was on the phone, and then when he hangs up the call, it's like a little slot machine. So then he pulls it.
There's like slot machines everywhere.
Yeah.
Here's my question though: do you think he came clean about how he got robbed?
Oh, I don't know if he told him the whole story. I'm sure. I'm sure he just said that somebody stole the money. Somebody stole the money.
Pickpocketed me.
Yeah. He's not gonna go into detail and tell.
They were good, let me tell you. I didn't even notice them.
They were so good. So then Quinn and Rembrandt and the professor, they're having this conversation about possibly going to the authorities and stuff like that. And then that's when the bride comes in from the wedding, and you found out that she was actually in talks with Rembrandt, that she didn't want to marry that guy, obviously.
She wants to sell out.
Well, yeah.
Because her past fiance, who she
was
really
murdered.
Wanted to be, was murdered. Yes. Yeah.
And so she has this disc that she hands them that has all this information of everybody that's on the take, like as far as like government-wise, politicians, like a whole list of payoffs. Yeah. So she said that she had made a deal with Mel to take her into protective custody if she was willing to get this information for them, and I would assume testify as well. Yeah. And that's when they're all like, well, I don't know how to tell you this, but we're not part of the FBI. And then Rembrandt's like, honestly, I don't even know anybody in
he's like, except for my cousin
who's a security guard. He's like, I'm a singer.
He's like, that's about how as much as connection I have.
Yeah. Which doesn't help at all for this. He's like, why?
I know, but that's what he's saying.
Yeah, but he's saying that he can't help her, but they were talking about right now about going to the authorities. So then she's all like, well, she's obviously concerned now because she's like, she doesn't want to marry this guy and stuff like that.
And she knows that her family will murder her.
Yeah, because I guess she said that her family has spies that are actually keeping an eye on the hotel itself. So then it's like Quinn, he goes back.
Oh, he's trying to figure out. Yeah.
He's trying to find the girl now who took the money.
He's all dressed up too, by the way.
Yeah, he's got a suit.
He's got a new suit.
Yeah, he's got a suit now. Yeah.
I always imagine him with that one jacket he wears.
What? No, he's in like a silver suit or gray suit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you dressed up looking for this lady?
He's like, look,
in case he needs the charmer.
To
get the money back from her. He's gonna pull a switcheroo. He's gonna do it to her.
Yeah, so he goes back. He's looking for because he needs to get the money back. Mm-hmm. So he starts talking to that bartender guy. He's all like, I need to know where that lady was from the other night. He's like, he basically doesn't want to give him the information, but then he slips him like $40 or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, the only piece of free info I'll give you is I don't even know. What does he say?
I forget what he says.
He to get lost.
Get lost? Yeah, that's what I thought.
To get out of the city.
Like
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So he infers that he wants a bribe.
Yeah. I want a bribe. Yeah. So he slips him 40, and then he just kind of points out to where she's sitting. She had a craps table or poker table. No, poker table. She's at a poker table. He goes over there and grabs her by the arm. He's like, I need that money back. She's like, I know what you're talking about. She's like, that's not my money. That belongs to the Greenlands. Is that what the Green?
It
belongs to the mob family.
Is that what it was? I thought she. Oh, is that what that's what she meant? I thought she had used paid. Or
No,
used
she did.
Oh,
yeah,
she did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
all like, I don't have it anymore. You're gonna have to, if you want it, you're gonna have to talk to the dealer. He's all like, and he's all like, you spent it all. You know, how much do you have left? She's all like, just under 5,000.
That's fucking insane.
I'm like, damn, she sucks.
God. Well, she said she was up,
and
then she went down.
Yeah. You're always up before
sometimes
you go
gotta
down.
double it.
Yeah, God.
And then lose it all.
But you know the funny thing is, he's like, when he was like, all right, let's do this. I was like, is this fool gonna count cards?
That's what I assumed immediately. Like, I was gonna play a game. Right?
Yeah, so he grabs.
Well, I thought he was gonna count cards. Like, I was like, this fool's gonna get in trouble.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So he grabs her and he's like, all right. So obviously you kind of get the thing. He's gonna play count cards and to get the money back. So he sits down at the table and he's like, all right. And I think he plays two hands because I see him put it on two sets of chips. Yeah. So he's playing like two hands at the same time. And then it cuts away and it's Rembrandt and Wade, and they're at what seems to be the offices of the Federal Bureau. Which
it's not Rembrandt, Wade. It's the Wade.
I'm sorry, Wade and the Professor. That's right.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're just like by the docks or something because it looks like
a rundown warehouse.
By the docks.
Identical to like a location in Mafia 2.
Really?
It's funny. Yeah, there's like a docks you go to into it. It looks exactly like that, like that same wall color and then that exact same staircase going up. That was funny.
That's funny. Yeah. So they're all like, "Oh, this is the offices," and then the professor's all like, "Well, I've heard about cutting back expenses on federal buildings," but so it does have a little sign there. It says Federal Bureau of Investigation. So they head up the stairs and they head into this building, and there's like a bunch of like random crap lying around.
It's really empty in there, or
it's
at least
empty.
Feels empty.
But there's like
random
tables
and the walls and stuff,
and file cabinets and stuff like that. And that guy comes up to them.
It feels like a shell company, though.
Yeah, right.
It feels fake.
Yeah.
So they run into that guy who picked up Rembrandt from the station, who's also part of the Federal Bureau. He's like, "Oh, can I help you?" He's like, "Yeah, are these the offices of the Federal Bureau?" And then and then he goes, yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, who do we talk about conspiring information about overthrowing the government?" And then that's when you see Rembrandt
in the back.
He like slowly.
He kind of like stand like he feel like he's like looking away, and then from afar you can see him, and then he hears that, and he kind of
he
strains up, and he like turns. Yeah.
He's like,
me.
What?
Yeah. So then they kind of sit down and they tell him the whole situation with the daughter and how she handed over this information and you need to get her into witness protection. And then he tells them, and they're like, "Oh, there's nothing I can do. The witness protection ran out of money a long time ago." So
times are tough, man.
And then Wade gets pissed. She's all like, "He's on the take," so she thinks he's the dirty, and he gets really upset about that. Yeah. He's all like, "You better watch yourself, or you're gonna I'll get you thrown in jail, and they won't be able to find you for years." And she's all like,
I'd be like, "Oh, you have money for that?" Okay.
Wow. Usually when people are in prison, don't they make money off of them? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, the government.
The government. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily government. That's more like private businesses themselves.
Oh, that's true. So I think they don't go into too much here, but they obviously like.
This is where it gets this is where it starts to get kind of like confusing.
Yeah,
like
to
quick
be honest,
they start like skipping kind of things.
Yeah.
This is when they start, I think, trying to like fast forward to get
like we gotta get in this fucking shit now.
Yeah.
Because then nothing happens there. And then
obviously
all of a sudden
something gets set up there that they don't show.
I know, but to the audience.
Yeah, to the audience.
Nothing happens there. And then all of a sudden they're in the governor or the guy who's running for governor's car.
Well, no. Before that, it's back to the casino, and you see,
he's racked up.
Quinn's he's been winning a lot. He's gotten stacks and stacks of chips, and then he's playing like three hands at once.
$1.
And then so he's like
he's been on the penny slots.
But then you can also see that the pit bosses and everybody's like looking at him. They're all like, "Oh, this motherfucker." So then
he keeps splitting hands. So he's playing blackjack.
He's splitting hands, and then he purposely loses one, and she's all like, "What are you doing? Why are you hitting on that?" He's like, "We have to burn a card." So then he does that, and then he splits another one, and he like.
So he does a little strategy
casino, then
so that he
some
can
of the
get
chips,
21.
but then
so then they come and they're all like, "Sir, we're gonna have to ask you to leave." It's like we don't appreciate people who count cards, And the chick's all like, "What? People aren't allowed to win?"
Well, she says that first.
Yeah.
Then they said we don't like card counters.
He's like, "Oh, all right." It's like we were just leaving anyway. So then
And
they
then
get
Quinn
all the
does
chips.
that little like line.
Where?
He's all like, he's like counting cards. Oh, because she's like, I've never seen anybody who's been able to count like 5 sets or something.
Oh, 5 decks. Yeah.
And then he's like
counting cards.
It's all like a number theory or something.
Yeah.
I'm shocked they let him keep that money.
I know, right?
Yeah, they would have like. I mean, honestly, I thought they would have taken him to the back and asked him which one's
I
good
know.
hand.
They didn't do that in casino. Well,
Yeah.
I guess because in casino he was like cheating.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this
It was
isn't
like
really-
a system. Yeah.
Card counting isn't really.
It's not illegal.
cheating,
It's just
but-
frowned upon.
Yeah, at least that's what.
But they will whoop your ass.
So he won the money back that he needed. And then I think did he give some to her so she can like kind of leave town?
That's
no?
at the end.
That's at the end.
that's
That's
the
way
end.
at the
Okay,
end.
so
yeah.
I guess he just left her high and dry. He's like, all right, I won the money
Basically,
back.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you stole $100,000 from me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be
But he's got to pay for the smooch.
So,
So.
like-
$20.
So he goes and he cashes out, and then
Is it then?
then
at
this is when it
point?
cuts to
yeah.
Wade and the professor, and then the guy who's running for governor shows up because I think Rembrandt had told him to get in contact with that guy because he had better connections or something like that.
Which I guess thinking about now, he was trying to set something up with them
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
He
so
was
then
like,
I think that's when they probably set up the whole thing.
yeah,
So
behind the scenes.
Yeah. So then they meet up with this guy who's running for governor, who supposedly is going to be like crack down on this. the whole
But you
mob
can
stuff.
tell. You can tell.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
like, fucking limbo
And the
conversation.
second they got it, I'm all like, this guy's in on the
Yeah,
tape.
I know.
So they go
Well,
in
I'm
there.
just like, before you give him the tape, you should
disc?
look at the tape to see if his name's on there.
Oh, the disc. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. So they tell her the whole story about the daughter of the mob boss, and now they
Same thing.
they have some information, same thing, and
Same thing
he
they
hands
told
them over
Rembrandt.
the disc, and they're all like, all right, well,
We need someone to protect us. It's part of
yeah.
it.
So they take. So he makes a call. And he's like, oh, they're staying, and then I was
Yes.
like, oh shit. So then they
we cut back to
and then it
Quinn,
comes back to Quinn, and
he's
he's
heading into the hotel room.
into the hotel room to like, oh, he's like,
Hey,
I got the money.
guys, I
I
got the
money. Oh,
Immediately, you
shit.
see like 4 guys
They
with
have
guns. Yeah.
And then they got Rembrandt, and who else did they have? Just Rembrandt that they had?
Rembrandt and
Was it the
who
daughter?
it?
oh, because they're the only ones there. That's right. Yeah, the
Yeah.
daughter.
Oh, yes,
yes.
Rembrandt and
Oh,
daughter.
No.
No, I guess the daughter
wasn't
isn't there, but
No.
although I feel like you see her face. I thought she like looks at them.
Oh, did she look up?
But then that doesn't make
Huh.
sense for later because later. Oh, no, she had to have been there
I
because
thought she was there.
because I feel like Rembrandt and Quinn talk about after when they're all tied up on the chairs.
Oh, then maybe she escapes somewhere
I don't know.
I don't know what
because she's not
happened,
in the next
I don't
scene.
know.
but I can't remember.
Maybe
I
Maybe
think they're
the-
looking for her.
Maybe the 4 guys that are there because is the governor dude there not? He's not there, right? The
No.
governor.
no.
Oh,
he's
maybe
not there.
they're in. Maybe they were like in on it. The 4 dudes.
Maybe.
It's the assumption that
Maybe
in
they
on
were
it.
on the other team.
Yeah, they're working with
Maybe.
the FBI.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they just
yes,
took
that's
her. That's probably what
right.
it is. That's probably.
Oh,
what it
okay,
is.
that's right. Because then they switch places or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, they went to, so then it cuts back to Wade and the professor. They're in like this car, and they're like they're backing into like this warehouse or something like that. Which
Probably
Do
the
they
same-
know that they got yet or no?
no, they don't. They have no clue yet. They're all like they think everything's going to plan.
Because that was a creepy bus.
And then they get taken out, and then you see Quinn and Rembrandt tied up, and then they tie them up too, and they're in the line, and
well,
then
the
the
funny
mob
thing
boss.
is they were worried. So the professor and Wade were worried because the timer was about to slide.
Well, they had like
There's
11 minutes or something like that, so they were cutting it close.
I was really hoping there was gonna be a cool slide here where it's kind of just pointed at the floor,
I was,
and
And
then
then the
it
chairs
shoots,
with
and
the
then they all
chairs.
fall down. I'm like,
Yeah.
that would be
I
fucking
was
awesome.
hoping they were gonna
It's
like
oh, it's
topple
gonna
the chair.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Everybody
is
roll
sick.
So,
But
I'm like, you guys have taken the whole van. You could take a couple.
for,
chairs.
for there only being 11 minutes left,
a long 11
it was
minutes.
a long 11 minutes.
They're 1 minute and
Yeah.
it extends to 10 minutes. most of the
I mean, the
time.
time that the portal is left open in this episode, it definitely stretches longer than usual.
Then a minute, because I
Yes,
think
'cause-
it's a minute timer supposedly for the
Yeah.
portal.
Mhm.
So the mob boss is there, and then they kind of tell him, oh, the governor has all the information. You're done
Cooked,
for.
man.
And then he's like, oh, really? So then
he's like,
walks
you
out of the
mean
shadows.
this governor?
This guy, come on in, buddy. And then you find out the governor's in on it as well. And then
Shucks.
that's when obviously you can see there's like a whole sting operation set up because they're like in this comms van, the FBI, and they're waiting for like just like an admittance of guilt. So from the mob boss saying, he's been part of our payroll for a long time. He's got to get his campaign money from somewhere, and then that's all the information they need. And all the FBI and everybody rushes in there.
Well, no, and then the guy agrees. The governor.
Yeah,
he agrees to it.
And then they rush in, and then big ass shootout goes on. I'm surprised nobody got hit. Like as far as like because they just kind of like ducked down, and then it's just a whole bunch of people were getting shot out. Mr. Hothead gets shot.
Everyone. Only one person.
Who did any of the mob people survive? The main mob boss?
The main mob boss, yeah, he's still alive.
Oh yeah, that's right. So they had to take him in. I think the governor probably survived too, right? Because I don't think he would have got shot.
Yeah.
But they shot everybody who had guns. That was, and then they untie everybody. He's like, "Oh, hurry up, untie us. We only got a few minutes left." So then they do open up the portal, and then you do see the daughter there. She Quinn hands her like some money and tells her,
she was in the van.
She hands all the money, I guess technically, but he goes, give $5,000
to that girl I told you about. Tell her to get out of town. And then so they open up the portal, and then
thanks for that smooch.
Wade and the professor kind of go in first, and then Rembrandt kind of has like a brief conversation with himself. He's like, oh,
hard work. I'm surprised they didn't use his brother for this scene.
Yeah, right. No, they didn't. No, it was just him, like two shots.
Yeah.
They shook hands.
Yes, they
did.
They made contact.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like when he has the jacket on his arm, they probably use that as like a cut point somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah,
I was watching Dead Ringers, right? They're twins. So it's the same guy playing him. And there's like a shot where you see one of the twins walking and he disappears. His shot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So he kind of has this little conversation with his double, and tells me to be careful.
Keep on fighting.
Keep on fighting the good fight. That whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Quinn's about to jump into the portal, and then you see somebody. Hey, you got the
cat
time?
Himself, the velvet fog appears.
Rolls in.
It turns out Mel Tormé was not dead. He's
damn straight.
He's like I'm like a cat that got 9 lives.
Well, he's like a fan. What does he say? He's just a cool cat. He's a cool cat.
Yeah.
He's how they say cats have 9 lives, and he's like,
you believe that superstition?
Yeah.
But
then, so Quinn turns, and then he turns back, and he's gone.
Yeah.
So is he really still alive?
Or do you think it's Quinn?
No, he's still alive.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah,
but I do like the idea.
Quick little guy. That fog rolls in.
That's Quinn
out.
having to resolve things in his own mind, so he feels okay in the next slide.
So then Quinn, so Mel was not dead. So then you see Quinn jump into the portal, and then it cuts back to the casino, and
very sad.
Yeah, you saw so she did give her the money. And then you find out she was in cahoots with that guy and also the bartender guy. It was like a whole operation.
Got fucking suckered again.
But you can tell she's like kind of like she wants out.
It ends with like a close-up shot of her sad face.
Yeah.
I think she wants out, but she doesn't know how to get out. So
it's such a sad ending. That's
at the end, and then it just kind of ends there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
How do you think that conversation went? Where it's like, Dad, I need you in this episode. I'm gonna blow you up.
But not really. And then Mel's like, I gotta live on this one, kid.
Mel's like, "Were you gonna kill me?" Yeah, but it was a
good
episode.
It had like different settings. Well, I mean, not everything, right? But it had different scenes. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. I forgot what I said the rating was on this one.
I think it's like a 7.
Wasn't it like a 6.9?
It's lower than.
Or is it
more
7?
than in Dino? I think it's like a 7.5.
Isn't in Dino like 7.3?
No, isn't Dino like a 6.8?
I don't know. I'll pull it up right now.
I think Greatfellas is like a 7.5.
It was just a little bit lower than the other one.
It's less than Obsession, isn't it?
I think it might be more than
Obsession. We just
Obsession.
watched yesterday.
Well, not yesterday. That was
not yesterday, but last time. Yeah, but I mean, come on, it's less than 2.
Great. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
All right, you know what's the
So So in Dino was a 7, straight 7. Oh, post-traumatic slide.
Yeah, that's right. That's the
that
good
one's
one.
been
Yeah,
highest.
Was 8.3. Obsession 6.8, and Greatfellas is straight 7 as well. So same as Dino.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I feel like this is better than Dino.
Well, in Dino's actually better than it, isn't it? In Dino's 7.5.
You got the sweet Dino.
Yeah,
Where's
bro.
Dino again?
Dino is a straight 7.
See, it's 7 and 7.
I would
7
agree.
and 7.
In Dino,
You would say this is good.
I think I like in Dino because it has a lot of forest shots. And I think it's pretty cool to watch, like to look at. Like, it's nice. It's nice.
I guess visually.
Visually, it looks nice.
Story wise, I
Little
like
Dino looking through that hole.
You do the dinos like that. That's fucked up. You leave that CG dino out of this.
You leave him alone.
I don't know.
The next one.
Yeah, so the next
This has to be at least 0.2 above Dino.
Yeah, so the next one is
the effects were better in this one than in Dino.
True. Well, I mean, this wasn't an effects heavy one either way. You had that sweet car explosion. That was a good stunt.
That was a good car. Yeah, good stunt stuff.
Yeah.
The handshake. The little fake
the
like,
double,
neons,
has to be
like,
the lighting and like on that one.
Yeah, don't beat a giant dino though. Sorry.
Then like, you want to impress me? You have a dino hanging out.
A dino that's in the mob. It's got a little hat.
So the next episode is we're almost done with the season. We got a couple more. We got 3 more episodes to go, and then we're done with season 2. So next episode is episode 11. It's going to be The Young and the Relentless. Oh, this might be a soap opera.
I know.
That's what I think of. The Young and the Restless.
Some drama is going to be happening. Oh, do you think anybody gets slapped?
Oh, maybe.
They start crying immediately. And then they kiss. Yeah.
So that'll be the next one. That'll be up on
2 weeks from now.
What is it? Yeah, 2 weeks from now. What is? I always forget to check the calendar.
20th.
The 20. Yeah, the 20th. Yeah, April 20th will be the next one. Yeah, and hopefully you guys got to check out the 30th anniversary episodes with the two-parter. So the first part we had with Rob Floyd interview, and then the second part was the
comic
Narcotica comic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys haven't checked those out, you should check them out. Be sure to make sure you have your notifications on Spotify or Apple or wherever you guys get your podcasts, so you know when all the episodes go up. I usually post them up the next day, like around. I usually get them up by 9:00 or something like that. So yeah. So hopefully you're better.
I'm sure
you should be better by the next episode. Have your voice back.
I know. Sorry for losing my voice.
Yeah. You had to scream like crazy.
All right.
All right, everybody. Until next time, we'll see everybody in the next row. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sliding Through Dimensions for updates and extra content. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on new episodes dropping every other week. Until next time, see you in another dimension.